a message that behooves the entire collective because we are in you all's season. Hello Capricorn, welcome to your January soul session. I am Princess India if you're new, and if you are family, welcome back, my friend and whatnot, whatever. Welcome to 2021. We'll see how this goes. So anywho, we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards. If you're not familiar with what my soul sessions are, they are your spirituality as well as personal development readings. And we are going to take a gander at what you guys may encounter, any energies, situations, circumstances, people, and things of the sort in the month of January. So we're going to go ahead and jump into you guys' cards and see what is going on with you guys for the month of January, my friend. Whoa, calm down. I know you guys are excited, but bring it back a little bit. You know what I'm saying? We got work to do. Anywho, so let's see. We have a central energy, a challenge, past influence, future possibilities, above energy, as well as a below energy, my friend. So your central energy for the month of January is the Fool in the reverse. First thing that comes to my mind, Cappies, is risk assessment. Take that however you want, but make sure you look before you leap. This month, I feel like there's a sense of like hastiness. Gosh, I'm just going to say a whole bunch of crazy words. There's a sense of hastiness. I think it's imperative to do a risk assessment, but the word that just came to mind was tomfoolery. Just Google it, you know. But just make sure you guys are really looking before you leave this month, because I'm really kind of feeling you guys may haphazardly jump into something too quickly. It could be because, of course, we're looking at us being in the new year now. It could be just literally wanting to turn over a new leaf. But I'm just feeling that now isn't necessarily the time. So this month is just imperative for you guys to be cautious of any opportunities that are presented to you that are seemingly too good to be true. This is challenged by the Magician card, and that's Aries energy. We got double Aries energy. Okay, so anywho, but the thing I would say that's of utmost importance with this Capricorn is whatever decisions you guys are making this month, it's imperative that you guys approach it from a place of power. I don't really feel like it's going to behoove you guys to sign on to situations this month, whether we're talking about jobs or what have you, where you're in a place of disempowerment. I want to kind of tread lightly when I say that, because I don't want to say, like, if you get hired at a job and it's an entry-level position, that's like the wrong job for you. I mean that strictly in a sense of things that are disempowering and things that aren't in alignment with you. So if you get offered a job in an industry that you hate, you abhor, you don't want to work in, that doesn't give you an opportunity or the ability to showcase your skill set or your abilities, or doesn't have like opportunities for upward advancement, and putting this in accordance with the Fool in the reverse, say hypothetically that you don't have a job right now, and this is kind of the first job that you've been offered in a while, and you kind of just want to jump on it because it's a job. I don't really feel like that would necessarily behoove you guys. So the challenge this month is really to stick to you guys' guns and to not really act from a place of scarcity, if that's making sense. Whoa, well, hello. Your past influence, we have the Five of Wands here. As we all know, that is my Petty LaBelle card. So we're talking about internal conflict that's manifesting itself externally. So if I were to just say, like, the first thing that comes to my mind here, it really sounds like a family situation. And specifically, it would be like someone who lives with their family. Like, say if you live with your parents, or, you know, you guys hit hard times during Rona and you had no choice but to move back in, like with your parents or whatever. And I feel like it's been like a lot of conflict, chaos, and unrest. Things in the home front aren't a-okay. This could even be like roommates, you know. This could even be a job that you're at. But whatever the case, you're in an environment that's hella chaotic, right? There's lots of arguments and just unnecessary drama that's going on, you know. And I feel because of you guys being in a situation such as this, which is why I say risk assessment is extremely imperative this month, because I really feel that you guys can be hasty trying to get out of the chaos of the situation and foolishly, I guess we could say pun intended there, jump into a situation that could be a lot worse. So if I were to say it like what Granny does, jumping out of the pot and into the frying pan, if you will. So just be cautious of that. You guys' underlying energy will, I don't know what is going on in your lives right now. The Nine of Wands, your above energy, wow, is the Six of Swords and the reverse. Okay, this is screaming trauma. I really want to say, I mean, the Five of Wands isn't necessarily a family card per se, but I feel heavily of a family energy here, family of origin kind of energy. Even if we're talking about those of you who may not be living with parents, if this could be a relationship, you know what I'm saying? But or you could be someone who has a chaotic family of origin and you've long since moved away. What this would be saying to me is that you guys are still harboring or carrying that trauma or that conflict, or your inner critic more or less is very much your parental figure's criticisms. And quick psychology lesson. All of our inner critics, right? If we had parents or aunts, uncles, whatever, siblings who spoke down to us a great deal when we were children, our inner critics have a tendency to reflect the same things. And thank you, because I can use this as an example. If you have Disney Plus, just go watch the movie Soul. You know what I'm saying? I'm just telling a bunch of adults to watch a kid movie. Just do it, okay? It'll all make sense, right? Because I feel like in that movie they had a really great example of how things that people tell us in our waking experience, how they're distorted into our inner critic in so many ways. But anywho, my friend. So what it's looking like to me is it's some conflict that disempowered you guys in the past that you're still carrying internally in the form of an inner voice or just simply a fear. And that's actually what's holding you guys back. So if I were to put all of this together, this would say to me that this is almost like a self-sabotatory cycle. One that you guys have been in many times prior to this. However, you're being given an opportunity this month, and we could even say this year, with this being the trailblazing month of the year with this Aries energy and whatnot, to really break the cycle with this. Because with the Six of Swords in the reverse, it's telling me that the energy is here for you guys to move forward out of chaotic, tumultuous times. But the only reason why you're not is because it's about your thought space. It's the way that you're thinking. It's the way that you're perceiving. It's the way that you see yourself. It's the way that you see your experience. And a lot of that has to do with being groomed into a state of chaos and unrest, or being around people who are just like messy and drama filled and like petty and just all of this unnecessary stuff. So it's almost more or less being conditioned or posturing yourself to accept drama and chaos from people. It's almost like an addiction to chaos, if you will. However, I feel with this Nine of Wands, it's very much rooted in something that's traumatic. And it doesn't necessarily have to be like full-on childhood trauma. I mean, it could be anything. And I don't know why I want to say this, but it could literally be like a house fire. You know what I'm saying? I don't know. It would be something that happened past tense. But it's just something you experienced in your life. And if I were to quickly explain what trauma is merely experiencing something traumatic or life-altering that introduces you to a new normal. So something once upon a time you never thought was fathomable is now fathomable because of having experienced said trauma. That could be a breakup. Like I said, it could be a house fire. It could literally be childhood trauma. It could be a myriad of different things depending upon the person. But what it's looking like for me, Capricorn, is that you guys experienced something in your recent past or just in your past that caused chaos and calamity in your life, put you into a place of disempowerment, and it's still being carried with you up to this point. That would be the root of what it is that's holding you back, because it's almost being hypervigilant and on guard, attempting to protect yourself from ever experiencing this again. And I find that with this hypervigilance, it's almost you guys will kind of leap before you look, if you will, out of fear. or out of a need to control. And what this is simply saying, Caps, is that Spirit is trying to get you guys to a place to where you're operating not from a place of fear, but rather from a place of true empowerment. So it's more or less whatever you guys perceive to have lost in the past is you guys stepping into a place of power and getting your power back and putting yourself back into the driver's seat. Now going forward, we have the Ace of Pentacles. So what this is in the reverse, but what this is saying to me is that there's an opportunity, rightfully so in January, for you guys to plant a new seed, proverbially speaking. So a new seed in your life, to chart a new path, to go in a different direction, to rebuild your life. You know, this is the year for that, and what's not, or whatever. But anywho, you're being given that opportunity. However, this opportunity is being held back at present. Well, I can't say at present, but because this is more or less going into our future energy, I feel like this is being held back for you all for your highest good. And I know people never like to hear that. Yeah, we have the 10 of Pentacles in the reverse at the bottom of your deck. So what this is saying to me, Capricorn, this is more or less saving you from yourself, if you will. I feel whatever this Ace of Pentacles represents, this more or less, if you guys were to get this now before you step into your power, I feel it will more or less be squandered. And I know that that's not the easiest thing to hear in America, but if we think about it like this, if you were given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, right? And with this 10 of Pentacles in the reverse being at the bottom of your deck, if you guys are feeling emotionally bankrupt, right? Not good enough, right? I don't deserve good things. And you're given a once-in-a-lifetime opportunity, you would in some way, shape, form, or fashion push it away or go into a self-sabotory cycle to push this away from you, because it's like inherently not feeling that you deserve it. Now, granted, if you were a person that does not have this problem, then this is not your reading, my friend. You do not resonate. You know what I'm saying? But anyway, if you do feel you're not at a place to where you're questioning your worth or your value or anything of the sort, then most certainly this would be a reading. And I'm pretty sure that your Ace of Pentacles is in the upright and you already got 10 of Pentacles all around you and things of the sort. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, but for those of you who are kind of struggling with the self-concept type of deal, it's more or less, if you've been kind of pondering on why it is your ship hasn't come in, proverbially speaking, or why this opportunity hasn't come in, or why your money isn't right, it's more or less showing you a direct correlation of your external world mirror reflecting your inner world. So it's more or less what you're experiencing every day. And this reminds me of something that Spirit told me a few days ago, which is along the lines of like, you know how like the whole concept, the whole theoretical concept of how the external world reflects our inner world. It's more or less when we perceive something about ourselves, like if I feel that I'm not good enough. I forgot something. I decided to do these soul sessions, not vastly different. Yeah, I guess you would say vastly different than I usually do them, and that's only because we're looking at January, so it's the start of a new year. So we're kind of doing a quick little recap, and the thing that I forgot was you guys surrender card. So those of you who watched the collective reading that I did at the start of December for all 12 signs, everyone got a surrender card, and it was speaking to the vibration of a situation, circumstance, person, habits, thought pattern, anything of the sort that would behoove you to let go and is also potentially the source of your unhappiness. Now, speaking specifically to Capricorn, you guys' card was surrender the idea. You can fix someone, and it says it's time for a relationship to shift. It doesn't work to try to fix someone. Each person must be accountable for his or her own healing, right? Now, I know I said in the collective reading, and I feel like I need to look at what you guys reading was. This is gonna feel probably a lot like an extended, so bear with me, my friend. But I know we were talking about like a little bit of codependency, and I was getting the vibe almost as if you guys were using, well, of course not intentionally, but people you guys were trying to help were more or less acting as dark distractions in you all's experience. How could I forget what the name of you guys reading was? The name of Capricorn's reading for December was shit. That is so funny. But anywho, but we're more or less talking about you guys breaking from habits, and sorry if you guys can hear the dog, but anyway, it's habits, bad behaviors, things that are no longer serving you, and things of the sort. I already gave you guys a rant towards the end of this video, so I won't plague you too much with that, but I felt it was really important to come back and say this, because when I remembered, I forgot to tell you guys your surrender card as a refresher for you all when I was about to start your extended. I just started getting a lot of information for you guys in reference to what came out in this spread, and the irony is, if you notice, I probably look a lot different than I did in the video you've been watching up to this point, because this is the next day, right? So when I woke up this morning, it's just a lot of different things that Spirit was just giving me insight into. And the irony is one of the main tenets of what it is that Spirit was telling me lies in the center of your spread, because I left out of my studio and I just left the cards where they were. So a few of these things I want to share with you guys just to kind of put this into perspective. And I think it's funny with the message that I got this morning, it relates to the Five of Wands. If I could encapsulate what it is that I saw for you guys very quickly, it would be with the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse being at the bottom of you all's deck. And this is getting, again, because I mentioned the Wokebook, but this is really getting deep into Wokebook stuff and the whole theme of 2021, which I mentioned before. But if we look at the Ten of Pentacles in the reverse from a sense of like emotional bankruptcy, or there consistently being hiccups of you feeling as if you're putting a lot of time, energy, and effort into something or someone, and things just aren't quite panning out, or your money is always funny. It's almost as if you're working to pay bills type of deal. Any of those feelings. These three cards you guys have in your above energy, your below energy, and your past influence. This is giving you the solution to this problem. If we were to talk about manifestation, the biggest inhibitor of why it is that we work so hard for things or desire things in life doesn't necessarily pan out the way that we like, i.e. this Ace of Pentacles in the reverse here, it seems like we're always like on a hamster wheel, if you will. And that is because, like with the Magician, with this being you guys' challenge, I would say that what I saw in this spread is even deeper than what I talked about in the reading so far. And it's more or less, if we were to use illustratively the Magician card and the 4 tools of creation, the entire thing that tarot is based on, the suits of tarot in so many words, we're really speaking about mind. We're speaking swords. We're speaking about will, which would be wands. We're speaking about emotions, which would be cups. You know what I'm saying? And we're speaking about pentacles, which would be your physical body, right? These are the full 4 tools of creation. In order for a person to have dominion over their experience, in order for you to have control over your life, period, in order to say that you're fully transformed, transmuted, to say that you're an alchemist, right? Because that's in essence what the Magician is when you have dominion over these 4 tools. If any one of these tools of yours are in discord with each other, it creates Ace of Pentacles, proverbially speaking, in the reverse, where your desire is this Ten of Pentacles. You've yet to see this desire, like the full-on manifestation of the things that you hope for, no matter how many seeds you plant, no matter how hard the work is, right? And you're not seeing the results of the effort that you're putting in. This Five of Wands is speaking to the discord within. That's why I call it the Petty LaBelle card. You know what I'm saying? The key is for you to stand in your power with the Magician, because this is saying that coming out of 2020, and I would go even as far back as this entire year, maybe your whole lifespan for some of you guys, taking into account your surrender card. I feel that your desire to fix people or help people, or even some of you may even be in a helping profession, a lot of that is a projection, right? It's more or less, and there's a whole psych theory behind this, I can't recall what it is, but it's kind of like if somebody, you know, has a fascination with chopping up bodies and stuff like that, like they know that's not socially acceptable, so they'll become like a butcher. Don't mind me, yo. But I feel, I can't remember what theory that is, but it's reminding me of that, especially if you're a Capricorn and you're in a helping profession, or you find yourself always in codependent relationships with people who become projects. I feel the premise of that, it's a projection, meaning it's your desire to fix yourself, right? Or to heal yourself, or to be happy. You know what I mean? But there's a belief that's saying that isn't possible, right? So if we think about belief, we're going to thought space. That's one of your tools of creation, right? So because you've made the decision that it's not possible, if your emotions were in alignment, so if you're doing manifestation and feeling the feels and the vibes and everything and so on and so forth, you can feel it, you can be doing the work, right? And of course, the byproduct of the external actions that you're taking are based on you directing your will. So these three can be in accord with each other, but because your mind, your thoughts are not on the same accord, it brings you out of God's space, right? It brings you out of the frequency of creation, and it causes, no matter how much you can feel it, no matter how much you desire it, no matter how much work you do, you always end up either missing the boat, missing the opportunity, or, you know, getting money, losing it, whatever the case may be. So when I talked about this self-sabotatory cycle, this is more or less what we're looking at, but the why is the fact that there's some facet of you that isn't on the same accord with yourself. Now, why I think this is important, Capricorn, because you guys are the first sign that I'm doing, right? We're in Capricorn season. This is a message that behooves the entire collective because we are in you all's season, right? So like I said, with these two cards being Aries cards, you guys are trailblazing in a sense, right? So what we're talking about here is you guys moving from a space of being subjective to your experience to taking an objective stance of your experience. Is you being at the will of life, being merely a creation. And we're talking about you guys transitioning into being creator. But the thing that's holding you guys back is what you've experienced in the past. It's a core belief of believing that something is not possible for you, something can't happen for you, or good things never happen to you. No matter what I do, stuff never works out for me. All of this is based on past experience. So even though your present self is desiring to ascend and to shift and to change and to have, you know, be better with your finances, to meet better people, the thing that you're ball and chain to your past is your beliefs, because you're determining your future via your past and thus recreating it into the future, in so many words, right? So I just want to throw that out there for you guys. In your extended, of course, y'all know we're looking at the whole year of 2021. Do not be creeped out, because I know that people are terrified. These are my soul scopes. I didn't do them for 2020 for some reason. I just did not feel led to do them. I understand why. Moving right along, but I do them with a lot of oracles and things and clarifying with tarot, just for the sole purpose of not creeping anyone out. It's not anything where it's like, oh, this is going to happen in March, you're going to get your heart broke. It's not stuff like that. It's more or less giving you usable tools, of course, to use with the Wokebook this year. So anywho, I'm going to stop rambling on, my friends. So check out that extended if you're about that life. If not, I still love your face, and I think I might have more of the video left after this. Yeah. Back to future past me? Something like that. That's past me. It was yesterday. Okay. I'm going to make friends with people and date people who just so happen to remind me that I also do not feel good enough. You know what I mean? So when we talk about creating our own reality, It's just as simple as that. We find ourselves magnetized and drawn to people who reinforce things that we already feel. That goes into our whole concept of unfinished business, because the whole premise of all of our lives is to finish your business, right? So if there's feelings, if there's emotions, if there's things within you or in your life that are left undone, or things about yourself or traumas that you haven't faced or emotions that you haven't expressed, they're going to continue to recreate themselves in your day-to-day experience, not to, torture you or to make you feel some type of way about yourself. It's for the sole purpose of you finishing your business. It's you facing it, it's you processing it, it's you working through it so that you can put a period at the end of your proverbial sentence as opposed to a continual semicolon, my friend. And that's what it is that I'm seeing for you guys. This is really an opportunity, not saying that you can't have what it is that you want, but it's telling you that you're getting what it is that you want, and you have been getting what you want. And I know that this sounds, for some of you, it may sound hella like, what's the word I'm looking for? Like metaphorical and things of the sort. But what we're really talking about here, Capricorn, with you guys being the trailblazing sign, the first ones that I do for January for 2021, we're really talking about everything it is that I cover in the Wokebook for 2021. I break all of this stuff down, but this year, just like last year, was a number 4 year, and it was a foundational year. It was a harvest year. There was a catch-22 with that. But with 2021, it's a year, a 5 year, it's a year of freedom. It's a year of elevation and liberation. However, there's also a catch with this, but the liberation comes through the mind. So as those of you who've been with me since the latter part of 2020, you know that somewhere around September and October, I was talking about these portals and things of the sort. And all of that in very practical language is more or less saying that 2020 is very much a year of the mind. It's all of these portals were just practice tests for what this year really is. And this year, many of you, I'm sure, have already begun to experience this, but it's going to be magnanimous synchronicities. You think it and you will see it, right? And the whole purpose of that is to get everyone to understand that what's really in charge, whether you're aware of it or not, is your thought space. It's not about how much you meditate. It's not about how many candles you light. It's not about how many crystals you have. It's not about how many tarot cards you have. It's not about how much stuff you can memorize and spit off the top of your head. It's not about how smart you seem or how smart other people think you are or how knowledgeable other people think you are or how woke or woo-woo or spiritual you can present yourself to be. All of that in the realm that we are in now, all of that is absolutely and completely irrelevant. At this day and age and this day and time that we exist in now, it is going to be very, very clear to see who people are and where they are in their lives based on what their lives look like. And this may have been something that was a difficult concept for people to understand prior to this time. But regardless of someone's socioeconomic status, race, class, gender, anything, right? Level of intelligence, all of these things are absolutely irrelevant. Now it's going to be very crystal clear to be able to separate the wheat from the chaff, if you will, yourself. It's going to be very easy to see who and how people are because their lives will reflect who they are. This is no longer a time of where people can say things and mislead you because it will be very, very easy to see truth. You know what I mean? 1 + 1 = 2, my friends. You know, 1 and 1 is 2. Got 2 fingers up. You know what I'm saying? So it's just as simple as that. A person's character, your character, my character, who all of us are innately, this is going to be beaming like the shining sun in 2021. But it's for good reason. It's for you to know who you are and to be able to know who others are so that we can redirect our behavior if need be. So this coming up is, of course, not something to wallow in peril, misery, and woe or anything of the sort. It's just simply to identify it, to accept it, and to reach out to a mentor, a teacher, a community, to reach out to someone who can help you to eradicate this problem, to work through this issue, to overcome this challenge, or what have you. This is no longer a time of being solitary and suffering in silence. Now it's time for us to come to solutions for our problems, if you will. So anyway, Capricorn, I was glad to share that with you, my friends. I don't know if I'm going to remember all of that to say it in the other readings, so you're a cool kid. You know what I'm saying? But anywho, that has been your soul session for January 2021, my friend. I'm going over to Vimeo, Patreon, my website, and YouTube members to do your extended. So if you're about that life, and by the way, your extended is going to be your 2021 reading, because I'm about that life. So yeah, if you're about that, follow me over there. If not, I still love your face in 2021. And as always, I will see you sooner than later, my friend. Love your face.